Hi everyone, this is your boy and it's time to review one of the best films I saw in 2017. Yes, I am talking about Dunkirk. I am so sorry for taking forever to review this film. There's no excuse why it took so long, but now we're doing it, so let's not waste any more time, shall we? Dunkirk was written and directed by one of the most unique directors today, Christopher Nolan. I've liked almost everything that I've seen from him. Memento and Inception are two of my favorite films ever. The only film from Christopher Nolan that I haven't really particularly liked that much is actually his last film, Interstellar. I know I'm in the minority when I say this, but Interstellar was way too sentimental, way too flawed with some terrible writing, and it's just, it fell way short of its potential, but I can forgive Christopher Nolan because he is an excellent director and he really proves it with Dunkirk. This film is an absolute achievement. It is the best film he has ever made. Yes, I just said that. Fight me. Dunkirk is based on the true story of the 400,000 Allied troops who had to evacuate the beaches of Dunkirk in 1940 during World War II, as the German army closes in on them and can attack them in various ways at any moment. The story unfolds from three different perspectives, following a lot of different characters who are involved in the evacuation in different capacities, and that's all I'm gonna say. Guys, this film is an experience. It's like a fucking mic drop. From the very first scene to the last scene, there is no filler in this film and you are completely entranced by what's happening. This is the purest form of cinema that Christopher Nolan has ever created, and it was meant to be seen in front of the biggest screen possible. I saw this film 5 times in IMAX and I loved the experience every single time. No film I saw in theaters in 2017 came anywhere near close to the experience that I had watching Dunkirk in IMAX. It is so immersive. One thing that I can't give this film enough credit for is the use of practical effects on this scale of production. All of the ships in this film, the thousands of extras, and even the airplanes are all practical effects for the most part. The CGI is also barely noticeable, making Dunkirk feel a lot more authentic, unlike every other Hollywood film as big as this that always uses CGI as a crutch. The cinematography is so gorgeous. They do so much with this IMAX format that really seems impossible when you take into account the size of the camera. They put it in all sorts of tight areas like the cockpits of the Spitfires, which they're clearly not built for. There's beautiful shot after beautiful shot. The cinematography is just mesmerizing and gorgeous with beautiful framing, composition, detail, gloriousness, amazingness, awesomeness, sauciness. Dunkirk boasts an excellent cast full of well-known actors and lesser-known actors, which I'm not even gonna try to list off because there are so many of them, but all of the performances from all of them are really good. One thing that definitely separates Dunkirk from most other war films is that there really isn't a whole lot of dialogue or character development. A lot of people have taken issue with Dunkirk for that reason, and normally that's something I would also criticize as well. I've bitched plenty times about certain films not having enough character development, sending me into massive rage sometimes. But what I think is important to remember is that character development is only necessary when it helps tell the story of a film. Dunkirk very clearly does not need character development or backstory because it's not needed to tell the story. It's only interested in capturing the intensity of this terrifying situation, and you know exactly what's at stake and what's happening as soon as the film starts. So having character development is kind of pointless. The only thing that matters from these characters are their actions. This film doesn't give a flying shit about their girlfriends back at home, and you know what? I don't either. The idea of there even being character development kind of sounds boring in the context of this movie. Dunkirk moves with a sense of urgency that I have not seen from other war films. For a film that's rated PG-13, Dunkirk has an unrelenting sense of fear and tension that most other R-rated war films fail to capture. It often feels like a mood piece conveying these pervasive emotions of loneliness, hopelessness, and dread. Thanks to the excellent soundtrack by Hans Zimmer, this is some of his best work to date, very easily. You can often hear the sound of a stopwatch ticking away during different sections of the music, which is a very simple and yet effective way of making it feel like time is running out for these characters. What also makes it terrifying is that you really don't see the Germans in this film. The film treats the Germans like some kind of faceless enemy that often appears when it's too late, when they're shooting at the Allies or bombing them. And when you hear a gunshot in this film, you fucking hear it. This film is so big and so loud, and it felt like I was being assaulted the entire time, and it was great. When the German bombers dive from the sky and screech across the beach, it sounds horrifying. So much so that when I heard a plane after I left the theater, I got kind of nervous. Now, Dunkirk is still not perfect. It can be slightly repetitive sometimes. It was also very hard to make out what the characters were saying sometimes because the dialogue's not really mixed in a way where it's easily audible. But these two things never really took away from the experience of the film, and after watching it many times, guys, I only feel more strongly that this film is a masterpiece. Dunkirk is a work of art. Other filmmakers, step your game up. I'm going to give Dunkirk a 5 out of 5. I hope you guys saw this film in IMAX. If you didn't, then I would just be hopeful and keep an eye out for any special screenings of this film in the future. That's not something that really happens a whole lot after it's done its theatrical run, but Dunkirk did go back to theaters 3 different times, so I'm hopeful that they'll have occasional screenings of it in IMAX in different markets in the future. So just be hopeful and keep an eye out. Let me know what you thought about Dunkirk in the comments section below, and leave a recommendation while you're down there on a film that I should watch and review next. Make sure you check out all the other reviews on my channel if you think I have an interesting opinion. Hit the like button if you like what you see, or share this video, or both, whichever you prefer. It doesn't matter to me. And if you dig the channel, then subscribe to the channel, brah. Thanks again, guys. This is your boy Jay. Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk, 5 out of 5. What a great day. Signing off until next time.